I didn't see you there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 5th episode of Romance with Diane. I'm so glad that you could join us this evening. We have a very exciting program for you. Hi to everybody who just tuned in. Hi, Kylie. I kind of got this idea from our conversations because we always talk about M.A.S.H, and I also made a cootie catcher literally right before the show. So I'm going to do one, and it's the Romance Tropes Cootie Catcher. For those of you who don't know, this was one of the fortune-telling techniques that you learn on the playground in elementary school, and you learn how to fold them. I think somebody on a bus taught me, as all good child lessons happen is in the back of a bus, right? Right? Yeah. So the colors I have are Raven, Garnet, Pink, and Bronze, because I'm not going to do this not on theme. Are you kidding? And I'm going to go ahead and pick Bronze. And then on the inside you have numbers, and I tried to follow like what I consider to be the standard cootie catcher, but it's really interesting because in this and in M.A.S.H, it's regional, it's whoever taught you. There's no like one right way to do it, which I think is really kind of cool and something that we're going to get into more when we talk about M.A.S.H, because everybody learns it a little bit differently, and that's what I like about these kind of like cultural, like kid culture spreads, is that everybody's is a little bit different, and I like hearing about the different types. It's one of my favorite things, like other than how much I love how moms across cultures are the same. That's also one of my favorite things. Like I love how like every mom wants you to wear a jacket. Every mom stores, what is it? You know those the blue cookies, the butter cookies, they store sewing supplies in them. Like that kind of weird shit that people think only moms in their culture do, but it's all moms. So anyway, cootie catchers, kind of the same deal. General same idea, little tiny cultural differences. So I did numbers. I'm going to go ahead and pick number 6. And I got chic, because of course I fucking did. Like, I don't know what I thought, and I actually don't remember because I did this right before and I was nervous. So I did not purposely pick chic, I promise. I really didn't know. So, but the other choices are Secret Baby, NASCAR. Did you know that there's NASCAR romance novels? I think we talked about it on the last one. Kylie says, trash enthusiast / teen girl pop culture anthropologist. Extremely yes. I, like 10 years ago, wanted my business card to say Diane Ivy, professional 8th grader, because I could sit there and talk about 14-year-old shit all day, every day. So I have NASCAR, Navy SEAL. We have not read any of the weird military romances, but there's like a whole subgenre of those too. So I can't wait till we can get into those. Billionaire, cowboy, cowgirl. I mean, all of this can be adjusted to whatever your preference is. Highlander, Viking, and Secret Baby. So that's the cootie catcher that I made 20 seconds before this. Because yes, I still remember how. Hi everybody who's just joining. We're doing cootie catchers because I'm secretly a 14-year-old girl. I actually made one of these not that long ago at one of my jobs, and it was all like job-specific jokes. We were really bored sometimes. We had like a very set schedule because it's contracting, and that's how it works. Like you can't leave early without taking off time. So sometimes to kill time, I would do stuff like this. So I made a cootie catcher for like work-related things, and I still have it. That was actually the situation where at that job, something kind of funny happened to me where we had a guy, let's call him for the sake of this, Brad? We'll call him Brad. So at this job, Brad was the lead developer on the other team, and I always was looking for him, like we all were, because he was the one that answered all the questions about what we could do and like what we could work on. And I'm not going to get into what I do because it's boring as hell, and I want you guys to think that I don't have a job and I just walk around like this all the time. Unfortunately, I'm not that lucky. Hashtag I'm very lucky to be employed. Don't fire me. Thank you. So anyway, we were always looking for Brad or talking about Brad or trying to find Brad and like, is he here today? We don't know. Did you message him? Did you Slack him? Did you call him? We need Brad. So I had talked about Brad so much that I had a sex dream about Brad. And he's a developer, which is kind of all I need to say, is like very skinny and kind of weird and awkward. And he's a great guy, but like I'm not attracted to Brad at all. It was just that it was that like Freddy Krueger syndrome where you talk so much about it that you dream about it. So I dreamed that I had really awkward sex with Brad. And then the next day, I hadn't seen him all day, and I hadn't really been looking for him, like we'd moved on. And he came over to my desk, leaned on the desk, looks at me in the eye and goes, "I heard you wanted me." And I was like, what the fuck, what? No, ew, what, who told? How did someone know? Because I didn't even tell anybody. But it turns out that just someone else had said that we had been, looking for him the day before, but it was horrifying. So that is a fun sidetrack story about why you don't say people's names too much, because they will invade your head. I remember we had really like sweaty, limp, like noodly sex. Like it was really bad. I heard you wanted me. Gross. Get away from me, Brad. Also, Brad, you'll never see this, but you're a good guy. Just no. So anyway, thank you again to everybody who's tuned in. I really appreciate it. We were wondering if we were going to have to postpone because it has been so hot and we don't have the air conditioning on here at Brian's apartment, and we were dying, like 90s Sears air conditioning commercial dying. So thankfully it has cooled down. It's cooled down in here. It's hot now because the lights are on, but it's like temperate, so we can actually live our lives and do our show. So like I said, this episode is about futures. It's about predicting the future, the methods we use to do that. And our book we're reading this week is Who's the Daddy by Judy Christenberry. And some of you might recognize this book because it has kind of a famous cover. It has a cover that looks very much like Full House. That totally looks like Aunt Becky, Uncle Joey, Danny, and Uncle Jesse. It's really creepy. I don't like it. It's 1995, so there's no way that this isn't like a weird Full House fan art, and I'm not comfortable with it. Like, it's too on the nose. I don't like it. It reminds me of the time that I was on a train leaving Kalamazoo, and it's like one of the only things I associate Kalamazoo, Michigan with to this day is I was on the train and this guy got on and he sat like in the row across from me, and it was kind of empty, so I'm creeping on people because I do that all day, every day, all the time. And he pulls out a book and I'm like, all right, and it's a furry like romance novel or like furry erotica with tigers in baseball outfits. And I was like, sir, we are in public. Like, I mean, you go, do whatever, but like, I don't want to know that you're into not only tigers, but like anthropomorphic tigers who also play baseball. And Kalamazoo is kind of near where Kellogg's is, so related. Is he a Tony the Tiger, like, fetishist? I don't know. And Kylie says, "I'll call now," which is a Sears air conditioning commercial. You call today, I'll call now. And yeah, we had to go to my apartment because it was too hot and we couldn't handle it. And I live in a studio, but we were like, fuck it, we need to be somewhere that's 66 degrees. So that is the famous Who's the Daddy picture. It is uncomfortable. I don't like it. So that is what we are reading from today. And it's really interesting because this book, has to do with futures too, in that like, she doesn't know who the father of her baby is. And I wish it were more exciting than that. I really do. I wish it were better. I wish there was more of a drama. I mean, when don't I? But like, I wish there was more of a drama about who the father is. And it reminds me of my friend Deidre's point about love triangles, which is that it's never really that much of a triangle. It's usually like who they're actually going to pick. So like the standards aren't that high, And Kylie says, Brian says, Joe Exotic's ears perk up. Yeah, it is very Joe Exotic. Did we actually see any furries in Tiger King, or was it just sort of implied? Because there's no way that they don't fuck tigers, but God. Kylie says she needs an obvious Hell's Angel daddy candidate, a nerdy best friend, Ducky and Pretty in Pink daddy candidate, and a buttoned up boss daddy candidate. Those are good choices. I guess I would do, I don't know, because I only like one type of man. Like, it doesn't make it as interesting for me because I'm attracted to just like, are you an idiot that thinks you're Harrison Ford? Like, that's my sexuality. So I guess I would have to have like an adventure dude who's like a hot mess, and then I would maybe have an adventure dude who's like got a buttoned up professor like persona. And then for the third one, I don't even know, like maybe a hot guy from whatever country we're in the adventure story, and he's just like, you guys are colonialist trash, get out of my land. Maybe, I don't know. Because also in my adventure world, everybody is, I don't know. You gotta think about it some more. I haven't really thought about it. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about who's the daddy, and it's special. It's part of the Harlequin Romance New Arrivals series, which has this little logo with a baby foot on it. And this is literally the first excerpt. People were crowding around her hospital bed, and Caroline didn't recognize a soul. I thought she was okay, said a man in blue jeans. Caroline couldn't help but admit her attraction to him, and she liked the anxious look he sent the doctor. She is, the doctor returned, but with the baby. Baby? Caroline's hand shot to her stomach. She was pregnant. She couldn't be. Could she? Oh dear, what had she gotten herself into? And with whom? I know when I'm stressed I definitely use whom. A look at the shocked faces told her no one had known. I demand to know who the father is, the eldest man present suddenly shouted. Okay, Maury. With that tone, Caroline was pretty sure he was her father. Okay, weird, gross, weird, gross, weird, gross. Who? He repeated. Then 3 men stepped forward. In unison, as if rehearsed, they all said, I am. Goodness. So, in this book, she wakes up from, I don't know, like, I guess a coma, but they don't really go into what her accident is, and I don't know what I expected. Michael Bluth reference forever, but they don't really go into it that much, like what caused her to have amnesia. She's otherwise fine, but she has amnesia and finds out that she is 2 months pregnant. So that is the basic plot, and the dad, she's rich, because of course she's fucking rich. She's rich, and there's 3 potential baby daddies in this. One of them, or 2 of them are like rich guy friends of her dad's who like want to marry her and take over the company. And then the other one is a guy who builds vacation homes, because of course it fucking is, who is like the secret blue collar kind of like, you know, the Hallmark handyman is I guess what I'm going to call that type of guy. Like the type of guy who wears flannel shirts and is secretly rich but has that like micro blue collar kind of thing. Which I'm not into, but I still prefer adventure, which is why I don't even know if I could pick 3 baby daddies, because they'd be like the same fucking guy. So the baby daddy, the blue collar baby daddy, which is a great, sounds like maybe a country song or like a Lana Del Rey song, like blue collar baby daddy. Like one of the early demos that ended up being way better than Lana Del Rey's other songs. I still have all her demos because I really do prefer them. It's such a cliche. Here's Max, who is blue collar baby daddy, and this is him looking at Caroline because of course she's wondrous in her early pregnancy stage. Says no one who was ever really pregnant. Damn. Max stood alone in the hospital room and drew a deep breath. He shouldn't have kissed her, but he hadn't been able to resist. Even as pale as she was this morning, with a bruise on her forehead, Caroline was beautiful. He'd only had 2 short weeks with her, but he'd missed her every day since she'd gone, even though he called himself all kinds of a fool for still wanting her. The 2 weeks they'd spent together seemed like a dream now, with the nightmare ending when she disappeared. He'd already been making plans for their future, plans that were aborted when she left. Unfortunate word choice. So anyway, she and Max were together for 2 weeks, and that's apparently when she got pregnant, and again, she's 2 months along, so it's very like fast-paced situation going on here with the baby daddies. And she doesn't remember anything because she has fucking amnesia, which I don't know if I actually said that she has amnesia, and you probably gathered that from the wonderful writing, which definitely uses tell and not show for everything. Like, there's no metaphors in this book. It's all just like, here's what happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. It's like how you write an outline knowing you're gonna fill it in with like the cool parts. Ooh. Kylie says, when your protagonist wakes up from her adventure coma, she can think she's seen triple, but there's actually 3 guys. 3 baby daddies can be identical adventure triplets. Interesting. I would watch that because I'm trash. And of course, there's a paragraph of her like coming back to her, mansion that she doesn't know she has, and like looking at all her new clothes, which we totally recognize from the billionaires section. It's like the same thing. A ripple of pleasure ran through her as she examined the rows of clothes hung neatly in the large closet. My, I have great taste, and expensive too. She recognized designer names on many of the dresses. I like that this bitch doesn't know her baby daddy, but she knows what like Dolce & Gabbana is. I mean, respect, but also girl. Since she couldn't remember buying or wearing any of the outfits, it was like having an entire new wardrobe. She wouldn't have to shop for months. That's how I felt when I went to my apartment after like 2 months. I'm like, oh yeah, I have other clothes other than like sweatpants and workout gear. Wrong. How could she forget the baby? And the changes that would occur in the next few months. Oh, boo-hoo, you're gonna get fat, Caroline, deal with it. So Blue Jean baby daddy's name is Max Daniels. I feel it's important for you guys to know. And the other 2, like the business guys, the Hallmark business fiancés, their names are Adrian and Prescott. And I was gonna read this, but it's not that good. So Prescott's the first like business baby daddy to drop out. He admits that he made it up because he was actually like away on business when it happened, which is not a very good villain move. Like, seriously? Get it together, Prescott. Here's Adrian, who's like the villain of this book. So it ends up being between Adrian, the evil business guy, and blue collar baby daddy. And of course, Adrian's a sexist because we gotta like find a way to hate him. Women are the stronger sex, Adrian said, speaking for almost the first time that evening. I think that's why they bear the responsibility for continuing the human race. Our child is going to have a wonderful mother. Are you the father of Caroline's baby? Her mom asks. Of course I am. I said I was from the beginning. You can't prove that, Prescott retorted, leaning across the table. Not until after the baby is born, and we can do DNA testing. Someone call Maury. Someone call Maury. Like, this entire thing could be solved if Maury was just there in a gray turtleneck telling people that they're the father. Also, this book would be completely different if she weren't rich and white, but what can you do? So anyway, there's all this like mystery over who the baby daddy is, but it's not a mystery because we know she's attracted to Max, right? And he's the only one who's not a piece of shit. So obviously he's the baby daddy. And like, I just wish that it were more of a genuine push and pull. Like, I don't think that we see enough in both love triangles and in like things with just villains that you might be into. Like, I want to see the push and pull of like, I'm attracted to you, but ew, and then like this guy's really good, but like, does he really, like me, or is he just doing the right thing? Like, I want to see that vibe, and I want to watch it unfold. I want to watch people be kind of grotesquely into each other, which is, I guess, always been my whole thing. But I just think it's more interesting, and it's more of a drama. And in this, like, that Adrian's a douche, that Max is Blue Jean baby daddy, and like, there's no struggle with who is really going to end up the winner, and I don't like that. I want to work harder for it. It's a dream. It's my dream to have a room full of several men arguing over who fathered my baby. Yeah, it's the Maury dream. And so they only made love once, her and Max, according to Max, who follows her home, because of course it's the 90s and there's no rules about respecting women's anything. He follows her home after dinner when she leaves and, comes to her house and is like, we only made love once. And then she's like, why didn't you wear a condom? So at least that they ask, and his excuse is that they got too caught up, which, I mean, all right. At least it's discussed in this book. As I've said in a lot of romance novels, it's not. They never talk about protection. They've started more to now, but this is 95, so it's actually pretty early for them to be talking about contraception, like in romance novel times, not in real life times, obviously. I think I mentioned before in a previous live that Fabio actually, in his romance novels, the ones that he wrote, makes a point that he uses condoms. So, I mean, good for you, Fabio. Work it out. And so, you know, Max is all like, I love you, blah, 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 I'm the father of your baby. And he says, I want you, and whatever comes with you. And that's the reason I've never married. I never met a woman I couldn't live without, until I met you. He saw tears in her eyes and pressed her head against his shoulder. Don't cry, sweetheart. It's okay, she said, her voice muffled. I didn't even realize I wanted a family until I found out about the baby. But I do. I want a real family, a daddy too. And oh, Max, I want that daddy to be you. You ever feel like there's so much to unpack, but you just like don't have time? I'm gonna take a sip of water while we address that. It's gross, Judy Christenberry. Actually, Judy Christenberry has another book that is also kind of famous for being terrible, and it's called, or just for having a questionable cover, and it's called In Papa Bear's Bed. In Papa Bear's Bed. Please react for In Papa Bear's Bed. It's gross and upsetting. I actually have that one too, because of course I do, in my collection. I made room for it because it's disgusting, and ugh. It's also about kids. So the other like little side plot in this book is about her family, which again, who fucking cares? Like, what do I have to do to get my romance, my contemporary romance, free of like wacky family shenanigans? Because I don't give a shit and I'm tired of it. And so she has a sister named Chelsea who is also pregnant and is like the Lindsay Bluth of Arrested Development. Like, she's just a self-centered monster. So I like her because I love a self-centered monster. Shout out Jenna Maroney forever. Rose says cringe. Accurate. It is very cringy. So Caroline's sister Chelsea is also pregnant, but she's married. Don't worry, America. She's married. Harlequin, American romance. She's married. So she's married, and she's also pregnant, and she wants to name the baby Etta May, which is either really hipster or just weird. Like, it's the 90s. I'm not sure that it's very weird. I mean, it's no Elon Musk X minus whatever, but it's still terrible. Yeah, so Prescott is lying. He's not the baby daddy. And then, of course, yeah, he just says that for protection that, like, he just kind of forgot, and they were, like, they only did it one time. That's why I marked this. They only did it one time, which is very, like, it's very 90s to get pregnant after one time, right? Like, don't they always do that? I think I read a bunch of those, like, teen pregnancy novels as a tween. I had, like, no risk whatsoever of teen issues applying to me, but I read the books because they're scandalous, and I was like, I want to know more about these girls. So I guess we should, like, read some sex, right? Because there's a little bit of sex. It's mostly, like, baby drama that doesn't need to be there. At least we have an advantage this time. She almost didn't hear his comment, as occupied as she was with his magnificent body. What? I can't get you pregnant. She gasped, but before she could protest, his lips covered hers again. She gave herself up to the enjoyment they were both experiencing, concentrating on removing Max's clothes as efficiently as he was with hers. That's awkwardly worded. In a matter of seconds, all restraints were gone, and Max swept her into his arms and carried her to the bed. Caroline didn't know if she remembered his touch or found it so mesmerizing she was confused. Healthy. She only knew she didn't want him to stop. His hands sliding over her body electrified her, and she stroked his muscled form, eager to learn every inch of it. She might not remember the first time they made love, but she was building new memories she hoped would last a lifetime. Caroline, Max gasped as she touched him before his lips took hers in a kiss that was the ultimate in oneness, a union of breath and spirit that filled Caroline with joy. When together they reached their completion, she collapsed, exhausted yet content from their love-making. For the first time since her accident, she felt at peace, happy. Yeah, it doesn't get like super graphic in this because these are, remember, like we're in the baby genre, so it doesn't get that scandalous, unfortunately. And so Adrian, the business baby daddy, he photoshops a picture of the two of them together to try to prove that he's the father of the baby. And he's like, hey, yeah, I took you to Vegas. We partied, we were having an affair, and now I'm the father of your baby. So when your dad retires, he will give you the company, which is basically what Banks did in 30 Rock with Kathy Geis. So he's kind of Kathy Geising her a little bit. And the best part about this whole entire book is that it's very 90s, and there's so much like 90s technology and things that would have been solved. Like it's the modern Seinfeld issue where like we would know if it's Photoshop in 5 seconds now. Like there's a point where he pulls over and has to like ask somebody for something, and he has to have a telephone. He needs a telephone directory to contact a private eye. Stuff like that where you're just like, oh, right, it's before the internet. I'm just reading some of these comments. I love that she's joyful and contented with the love making, but looking in her closet gives her a ripple of pleasure. Yeah, it'd be like that. Brian says Facebook won't let me paste pictures in live chat, so just assume I posted Italian Spider-Man yelling, "Rispetta la donna." Has anybody else seen Italian Spider-Man on YouTube? Please tell me that you have. It's amazing. Brian and I watched it, and it's my favorite thing of all time. It's insane in the best possible way. It's like a spoof of like a 60s and 70s Italian, like a spaghetti western, except it's like superheroes. So he's Italian Spider-Man, and it's just amazing. So yeah, they hired a private detective to try to figure it out. They have to go to the Yellow Pages because it's 1995. And of course, Adrian tries to do some more stuff and cause some more mayhem. But of course, you know, like, we know that Blue Jean Baby Daddy is the baby daddy, blue collar baby daddy. Blue Jean Baby Daddy is totally a Lana Del Rey song. Rose, you absolutely please look up Italian Spider-Man. It is awesome. The trailer is good, but we watched the whole thing, which I think is like 30 minutes, and it was worth every penny. I felt stoned the entire time. I was like, what is this? Also, I love it. So anyway, the dad arranges for her to get married to Adrian. And it's funny because like she's 2 months pregnant. Why does this have to be immediately? Like, can't they hide it for a little bit longer? I don't understand like the rush. The level of urgency here just feels unnecessary. Like this woman experienced a trauma. Can she breathe? Can she live? No, not in this world. So she's all ready to marry Adrian because he has the photo and she can't prove it's fake, and Max has no evidence because he's just a good old blue jean wearing baby daddy. So they're at the wedding, and they do my absolute favorite thing, which is object at a wedding. If there is any reason this man and this woman should not be joined in holy matrimony, please speak now or forever hold your peace. The Reverend Mr. Spencer, Reverend is not a woman, intoned, a beaming smile on his face. Stop! Caroline exclaimed hoarsely. Stop! Max exclaimed, rising from the pew to the amazement of those around him. Stop! Exclaimed 2 men standing by the double doors at the back of the church. The guests gasped in unison before an excited buzz spread across the audience. The minister, shock on his face, stared at each of those who had responded to his question. My, this is most unusual. Just ignore them, Adrian said through clenched teeth. Get on with the ceremony. Sir, you may have not noticed, but one of those who spoke was your bride. In good conscience, I cannot continue if the bride is unwilling. So, of course, she says, I can't marry him, Daddy. He is not the father of my baby, but we know he is. And they figure it out through credit card receipts, which again is really 90s because this would have been solved in 5 minutes if she had online banking. It's fucking classic. Like, why does that happen every time? It's so avoidable. Like, it's all the Seinfeld issues of people just need phones and computers and this would be solved. So the private detective helps them figure it out. Oh, and apparently Adrian wanted to marry her because he had gambling debts he couldn't pay, because of course he does. So that's a good time. And of course she ends up marrying Max, and they have twin boys because there's not one secret baby, there's two. Because what's better than one secret amnesia baby? Two secret amnesia babies. And Adrian disappears, probably gets arrested for gambling or something. I don't even know. I didn't care. I read this afternoon. I like skimmed it. But before we get done with the book, I wanted to show you, or I wanted to read the advertisement in the back, because you know one of my favorite things about having these types of books is all the old art, the old like ads, because all of these have ads. This one actually has one of the scratch offs, but someone already did it. Yep, big bucks. Hurry, it's fun, it's free. Oh, we got some green screen issues, sorry. But anyway, I mean, you get the gist of it. Somebody scratched off and they got 4 free books and did not claim them. Do you think it's too late? So, in the back, this is another Harlequin romance, but this series is called Heartbeat. It's got very 90s font, Heartbeat. Like, it's very soap opera, too. It's very like, hey ladies, this is sexy. Like pre-Magic Mike, kind of like, ooh, drink an Arbor Mist and come on in here, girls. So here's the text of the ad. Once in a while, there's a man so special, a story so different that your pulse races, your blood rushes. We call this American romance, Heartbeat. Trevor Delane is one such man, and Love Bites, in all caps, is one such book. Kay Erickson didn't believe in vampires until this one skateboarded into her life. I'm sorry, what? Skateboarded? I didn't plan that. What the fuck? We have to read this. Oh my god. He's a skateboarding vampire. Their love was star-crossed, but held the promises of centuries of passion, but only if one of them would relinquish what they loved best. Harlequin Romance, number 582, Love Bites, by Margaret St. George. Don't miss this exceptional sexy hero. He'll make your heart beat. Is he a vampire skateboarder? I am going to have to find this and find out, because I'm truly, like, I didn't fully read this through. I just saw the ad, and they're usually funny, so I was like, oh, I'll read that later. So that is genuinely... What? He's a skateboarding vampire? I'm so upset. Like, how would that... Like, I have questions. Yeah, Kylie says that sounds like a Goosebumps book, not a Harlequin romance, which is totally right. Because it's very like, hey teens, this is, or hey, you know, tweens, this is trendy. Vampires Don't Skateboard by R.L. Stine. Yes, that is 100% what this fucking sounds like. I am upset right now. Like, I don't even like vampires, and I'm offended. Like, I enjoy good goth, but I could do without vampires. I prefer, like, brooding Lord of the Manor. Honestly, if we're asking me, which we are because it's my show. Why does he skateboard? Like, can you imagine? Because think about like the normal, not normal, but you know, the normal like situation in which you find a vampire, right? Like you are wandering through the woods because your horse lost a shoe and it's raining and you're wearing just a white nightie that gets soaked, and you find a castle and you knock on the door and you're like, please sir, can you help me? And he lets you in and you feel his gaze on your body and you're like, ooh, I'm into it, but I'm scared, and I'm just a virgin, but I'm into it. Is this getting a little too real for anyone else? Anyway, so you go and you like have dinner with him across a really long table, right? So in that fantasy, it's a very specific fantasy. Now imagine if you arrive at the door and a vampire fucking skateboards out of the castle. Hey girl, like what is he gonna like holler at you like while he's on his skateboard? I don't understand. I'm upset. He skateboards? I just let me make sure I read that right. Yep. Skateboarded into her life. All right, cool. I know what we're reading next because, oh my God, like you're ruining vampires for not only me who doesn't care, but everybody who genuinely cares. Kylie says, he whiffs it on a rail and turns into a bat. Right, like, can you imagine he like does a bad trick? Oh wait, what if he was played by Tony Hawk? What if it was just Tony Hawk, but he's kind of a vampire? Like Tony Hawk with vampire teeth, and that's the whole thing. Like this is like a bad SNL skit. This is like a 30 Rock skit that they would cut, like in favor of Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. Vampire skateboard, spooky, scary. No, doesn't work. This is horrible. This has sidetracked everything I was gonna do because I am so upset right now that this vampire apparently skateboards. Do you think he wears a helmet? Let me know if you think he wears a helmet because like, if he's actually undead, does he get hurt? Like what happens? I wanna know. I also don't, and I'm upset that this is happening right now. I'm furious. Why is he a skateboarder? Okay, back to what I was actually gonna do. That was a sidetrack, but that was genuine. Genuinely terrible. I'm so angry. Okay, so I thought we would start by playing M.A.S.H. And for those of you who don't know or don't remember, M.A.S.H is a fortune-telling game that is, again, like something you, like a cootie catcher where you learn it from a playground, from like somebody that is older than you. I learned it from my cool older friend, Annie. She taught me how to play M.A.S.H, and then I taught my sister. My sister taught her friend, and we did it for like an entire summer one year. So M.A.S.H is definitely one of those like passed down games where everyone has kind of a different way of playing it. And when I was Googling some pictures for this, I actually saw that a couple people had like printables of M.A.S.H that you can do like on Etsy and stuff. And I feel like that is so against the principle of M.A.S.H because again, it's about those regionalisms, the things that get passed down, like the, sorry for using this word, but like oral tradition of the game. So when you take it and you make it like a printable that everyone has the same marks, it's not the same. You're really supposed to do it in your own way. So if you would like a M.A.S.H, I'm gonna have to, for the sake of time, make stuff up for you based on what I think you're into. But if you wanna play M.A.S.H, I know Kylie wants to play M.A.S.H, so we're gonna start with Kylie and then we're gonna do some other people if they would like. So let me get my other camera. So we have the paper, and the first thing that you do when you play M.A.S.H is you do the M.A.S.H at the top. Mansion, apartment, shack, house. And those are your options for where you live in the future. And I always do, I'm gonna say spouse. Also, sorry, my handwriting is terrible, and I have really fat hands, so I know. Spouse, to keep it gender neutral here because we're accepting, and maybe you want to marry somebody of the whatever gender you're into. I don't care, do your thing. So spouse, car, maybe job, and what are some of the other good ones that there are? Oh, pets is usually one. There's kids, which is usually like a tally. And then maybe, is there another one? What do people remember as being another category? Spouse, car, jobs, kids, pets. Have your job. I don't know, maybe we'll just start with those, and if we think of another one, then we will. Income. This is supposed to be fun. All right, let's just start with these 5 and pretend that I didn't make this uneven. All right, so the way that I taught it, there's always a numerical way that you count things, and the way that Annie taught me to play it is through a spin. So you draw a sparkle, or you draw a spiral, and then someone tells you to stop, and then you count up the spiral. Then you count up the spiral, and that's how you determine the number of times that you go around. Okay, so for spouses, I'm gonna put Jonathan Taylor Thomas, because this is 90s. I know we probably weren't into him, but like we have to for the sake of what this is. And then I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do the orchid guy from Twin Peaks. Jonathan from Stranger Things. And I usually do 5 for each one. Kylie said she did tally marks instead of a spiral. I did tally marks for kids. That was how I did kids. But it's interesting because like everyone does it different. I'm gonna say The Undertaker. And let's throw in like Michael Stipe from REM. I'm just guessing on all of this, so it's going to be super funny. So for car, you always got to put Ferrari, and then maybe like, I'm going to say old Chevy. Because the thing about this game too is it's not fun if all your answers are positive. Like you got to throw in some terrible answers. Ferrari, old Chevy. What about convertible? VW Bug. 3 might be better. Oh yeah, Woody Wagon. Oh, shopping cart. That's pretty good. So for job, I'm gonna say movie star. Save a lot. How about dive bartender? Because you'll meet a lot of sketchy guys that way. Kylie loves sketchy guys. That's like a tenet of our relationship. Is that we both love sketchy guys. In fiction. In reality, I don't know if I do, but in fiction I do. Dive bartender. How about reporter? And maybe we'll do mom. So for tally marks, I'm not gonna look. I'm just gonna like, maybe. How the fuck does kids work then? Maybe the kids has to do with the spiral? Well, you know what? We're gonna give Kylie a break because she doesn't want any kids anyway. We have that in common, so no kids for you. No kids. You're child free. Fuck yeah. For pets, I'm gonna do mini horse, iguana, Shar-Pei, 8 cats, and how about a tiger? We'll have to figure the kids thing out on another one of these if we do them. So that is the first round, and now we're going to go and count the spirals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we have 10. That means that every time that we go around, on the 10th one, we strike it out. And until you get to the end of each category, you will remove one of the things. It's easier if I just show you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're not getting a Ferrari. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, no orchid guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No tiger for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so you're a reporter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're married to Jonathan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You drive a VW Bug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So Kylie's future is that, let's just show the full thing on the main screen. You live in an apartment. Your spouse is Jonathan from Stranger Things. Your car is a VW Bug. You are a reporter and you have a pet iguana and no kids. I mean, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. It's pretty like LA hipster girl. Like if they did like a blog or a feature about like what's that actor's name? Charlie something? If they did a feature about like his girlfriend and she was like, yeah, I live in LA and I kind of work for Vice and I have an iguana. Like you'd be into that. You'd be like, she seems cool. Or maybe I would because I'm insane. And yes, Kylie, I will mail this to you. If you're not already on my mailing list for cards, Valentine's, friendship bracelets, other dumb child stuff, please get on it because I love to send mail. I love it. So that is one mash down. Amazing. Let me just see comments here. I've been hiding. I suddenly got very nervous about counting. Like I was worried that you guys would see me forget how to count. All right. All right, Omar wants to do it. But, all right, let's do Omar. So, I am playing this heterosexually at the moment, but we'll get to me and I'll be bi for the sake of this. I'll be gay for pay on M.A.S.H because it's more fun. Okay, so spouse. I'm looking behind me because that's where I put it for some reason. Job. I'm going to change it up. Pets. Kids. We're going to try and do 3 this time for the sake of like moving this along. Like 3 in each category, maybe. So it goes a little faster. So for kids, I'm going to put 12, 2, and 0. So you're either a Duggar or a reasonable person. So for car, I'm going to do a drone. I liked the shopping cart idea, so I'm going to do that. DeLorean. How about an Andy Sedaris Jeep? I believe that was suggested. Oh, so I guess we are doing 4. We're going to do 4, I guess, because I got excited about Andy Sedaris Jeep. So you have a chance of possibly having 5 kids now. All right, so pets, I'm going to do a tiger again because I want someone to get it. Dog, cat, lizard. You might be like, what kind of lizard? Doesn't matter. Any lizard, a lizard. For spouse, let's see, celebrities. Who's a hot lady? I'm gonna do Salma Hayek because we just watched 30 Rock where she's in it. And I always quote that line of, if I had those knockers, I'd be thanking God too. Because I think it's solid. Who else is hot? Who is hot? Let's do like Jada Pinkett Smith. Because she seems like she is pretty but would be annoying to be married to. Who else? Who else? Omar says, I'm never going to financially recover from this. That's fair. You wouldn't in a game of M.A.S.H. Brian says, Kathy Geis from 30 Rock. And then let's do like Pam Anderson, because that's a very 90s girl to find hot. So for job, I'm going to say secret agent, weed dealer. What about life coach and house husband? Normally I have better handwriting than this, but I'm doing my best. All right, some spiraling. I'm not going to look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to count out loud every time. It makes me nervous, but you can pretend. Sorry, no Selma. 1, 2, 3, 4. You live in a shack, I'm sorry. You have 5 kids. You have a dog. You drive a DeLorean though, which is pretty sweet. You're a weed dealer. All right. Here is your future. It's pretty good, Omar. Your future is you live in a shack. You are married to Pam Anderson. You drive a DeLorean. You have 5 kids. You're a weed dealer with a dog. Megan says, I wish you could hear Omar say no every time something gets crossed off. I know. That is the best part of M.A.S.H. And then, like, you would possibly try to cheat if you're doing yourself, which is really funny. Like, you'd be like, oh, that's 5. Like, I would do that with my sister. Sorry. I love playing M.A.S.H. I do it all the time still because I am a child, as I mentioned. And I did it actually in a van on a field trip on the way to somewhere for grad school, which I was way too old, but I learned a lot about everybody. I learned a lot about our grad school program director's taste in women. He likes Latinas, and I was like, respect, Charlie, you like some ladies. Like, I was legit impressed with his choice in women. So, Carly says she definitely cheated at M.A.S.H. That's true. Ugh, we only have a couple more minutes, but I am going to do me because I want to. It's my life. Okay. Spouse, car, kids, job, pets. I'm gonna, for the sake of Omar, I'm gonna do the same numbers as him because I don't want him to feel alone living in a shack with Pam Anderson. So I'm gonna do 3 kids, 0 kids, 14 kids, and 4 kids for me. For pets, I'm gonna do a liger. I'm gonna do a panther, a hairless cat, I used to be obsessed with hairless cats in high school because I thought they were funny. And because you can knit them sweaters. It was like a whole thing. I don't know. You know how you weird, fake, quirky shit? I know nothing about weird, fake, quirky shit, obviously. Liger Panther, hairless cats. I need one more. I'm going to say tiny dog, like a Paris Hilton tiny dog. So for a car, I'm going to say a big wheel. And a Maserati, which I'm probably going to spell wrong. 1930s car of some sort. I don't know cars that well. And then my other one's just going to be, I'm going to say a drone because I kind of want repeating because they're funny. Okay. So for job, I'm going to say actress, cam girl, mommy blogger. So that's my nightmare. And I work at Lush. I would totally, if I didn't have a job, I would work somewhere like Lush or Sephora and just like talk to people all day because I love doing that. And I like recommending things to people. Okay, for spouse, we're gonna be bisexual on this for the sake of, because it's fun. Which is why people are bisexual, because it's fun. So we're gonna say Allison Brie because Brian requested her. And of course I'm gonna say Harrison Ford. I don't care that he's old, don't try to tell me what to do. And then I'm gonna say my big celebrity crush is Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny. I find him really dirty hot, and I absolutely would. Who else should we pick? We need another lady. I'm gonna say Jamila Jamil because she seems really annoying even though she's hot. So like, it would seem fun until it was awful. But we both have such big boobs. I don't know how we'd manage that in a relationship. All right. I'm spinning for myself. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I drive a Maserati. No, not my baby. Okay, so I'm an actress. Big shocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have a tiny dog. Nice. All right. Mine is pretty good, and I really did try not to cheat or like, you know. So here's me. I live in a house. I'm an actress, married to Rob McElhenney. Fuck yeah. I drive a Maserati. We have no kids, and I have a tiny dog. So I think that's not that far from his actual wife, although I think they have kids. But oh gosh. Good times, good times. We are exactly at 10 o'clock, so I am probably going to go ahead and sign off for now, but thank you so much to everybody who played M.A.S.H. If you did not get to play, I will see it in the comments. Sometimes I miss stuff because of how the feed comes in, so if you did not get to play, I will get to you and we'll figure it out because I would love to play M.A.S.H. with you. This was super fun. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm very sweaty, so I'm gonna go deal with that. And I hope you have a very good night and consider playing M.A.S.H sometime. It's very, very fun. All right, bye.